everybody, to episode 50 of the Drunk Friend podcast. As always, we're your host. I'm Travis. That's, of course, Alex. And in celebration of episode 50, we got a big guest coming for you today. And, well, I hope you like Elvis Presley. We dug up Elvis. Nah, we're kidding. It's going to be us. We're celebrating our 50th by having ourselves as guests. How awesome.
You know, one of my favorite running gags when I was in high school was being able to make sure that every version of Elvis that we spoke of was L dash as in hyphen vis, and that was just kind of our running joke. So the fact that you said Elvis
it's
is
hilarious.
pretty funny.
Dude.
Yeah, it's really hilarious
joke
to everybody to now listening. It's fascinating listening, I'm sure. We need a new 90s ass podcast, by the way.
Oh, just to focus, like a deep dive on something 90s?
Yeah, just on 90s asses.
Fran Drescher coming in at
Fran
number 10.
Drescher in that skirt. Fran Drescher. Who else was it? Frickin' 90s.
John Lithgow.
God.
I mean, what a...
John Lithgow. Holy shit, on frickin' Third Rock. God damn.
Yeah, with those khakis.
Like, stop it. Walking around in those Dockers. Like, fuck.
Packing a tank. Yeah, hell yeah. But no, seriously, episode 50. Alex.
Donk.
Hey, Alex, thanks for sticking around for 50 episodes. And to celebrate, you came in here gnawing on a chicken sandwich. Took you 30 minutes to eat it. We're finally able to record.
Yeah, that chicken sandwich is amazing. And it took forever to eat.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. That's what celebration is. It's just eating for really long periods of time. So good on you, buddy. But no, seriously, it's been a fun 50 for me. And I think everyone who's listened and emailed and all that, we're down for 50 more, I think.
Nah.
We have to get as a guest. We have to get.
Oh yeah, as a guest.
We have to get Miyamoto. I mean, that's how we go out.
Well, Miyamoto or Vince McMahon
together.
To have the ultimate Vince McMahon, to have the ultimate Vince McMahon podcast. To have the ultimate 90s ass podcast, we need to have either Vince McMahon or Eric Bischoff. Let's be honest.
Together.
Vince McMahon, yeah, if he is around and he'll hear this, that is 100% his speed. He'll do that.
You think he'd come on here?
Yeah, for sure, Vince McMahon. I mean, he's always, open to interviews and things like that. And he's never busy. He's got things to do. He's got nothing to do.
Sure.
So
let's see if we can get. If you out there have a connection to Vince McMahon, please bring him in, because that's how we'll celebrate episode 100. So
yeah, Cap, come on.
Yeah,
it's about time you start pulling your weight.
Yeah,
Cap,
Captain Drachma.
Let's go.
Yeah. For anyone wondering why Alex is yelling.
Inside joke.
Our friend Captain Drachma is very good at reaching out to guests for us and getting them to say yes and getting them on here, which is good. Recent videos. Alex, did you quit YouTube? People want to know.
No. It's nice to quit things, though, and to look at them after the fact and be like, huh, that's something I did and something that happened. Yeah, it's been kind of super helpful. Nice. I would say.
What are you going to change? You got any big revelations? Are you thinking about a new approach?
I still want to be useful. I just don't want to be so belabored when it comes to freaking humor. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to laying on the jokes. I get it's you get funny and you start feeling yourself a little bit, and it's like, all right, well, you should kind of back away a little bit at that point. And
that's a lesson I'll never learn. I'm always on. I'm always funny. Don't tell me otherwise. But no, I get what you mean.
I love it.
I get what you mean.
I love it. Please bring more, Trav. Bring more. The audience needs more.
Okay.
But I love it though, because no, that's what it's like to unplug though. Is that it's just you're done. You're done with everything. You're done, son. You're done with everything. You're just out. And that you realize the scope of what that is after the fact. It's not when you're making the decision of I need to unplug. It's after you unplug where it's I need to back away from a shitload of things. All this stuff that I didn't even realize that I knew I was relying on all day, every day. And then here I am, and you saw this picture. I was playing Tetris, And when I say playing Tetris, I was like squinting and like sweating over this Tetris game of type B95, like just like white knuckling it and just like hardcore, like going like just.
Are you okay?
Hardcore. I'm great, but it's fun to just like forget about everything and just be like, I want to go for the high score on Tetris Type B for level 9.5. Like that's, and the only way to do that is to get the drops right. You know what I mean? That doesn't make sense unless you've played enough Tetris 9.5, I think. You got to press the down arrow on the D-pad to get certain stuff to drop faster, so you get more points. It becomes kind of a thing. It's kind of weird. I have to go outside to play it, I'm not gonna lie, because I'll wake up Pearl.
Wow. So you're saying in your time off you've become such an intense Tetris player that you make noises while you play it.
Dude, it's crazy. Like, my dogs are scared of me. Like, I'm playing like
you might need a longer break.
I just love. Listen, Tetris is super fun.
Sure.
When you play 9.5 Type B. It's super fun.
Yeah. Very cool. So you're enjoying the time off. You're finding time for games that you love, which is good.
I'm turning into Hank Hill. I told you about this.
I was just going to say you've not been constantly working on new material or writing. You've just been relaxing. That's good.
I don't know if relaxing's the right word.
You're right. It doesn't sound like you're relaxing very much with Tetris if you're having to go outside from scaring your family.
How are you when you take a break? Like, what do you do? Like, give me some advice.
Oh, dude, I've never done it. If I take a break, I just start a different hobby and do that.
Yeah.
I don't actually relax. Yeah, I've never. Sometimes people will tell me that they took a nap, and I'm like, "You did what? You do what now?" I don't understand. I don't understand naps. I'm like, you were doing something, then you like in the middle of your day, you just fell asleep. What the hell? I've never been able to do that. My brain doesn't stop. I don't sleep when I'm supposed to. Anyway. Yeah. So yeah, I don't understand breaks. So that's why I'm asking you. I'm like, so you just stopped. You stopped doing things, and then you started... I don't
stop ever. Yeah, no, that's why I'm asking you.
Yeah, I don't know. We need to bring in somebody else. We have no idea.
Oh, my God. What do we do, Trav?
While you were taking a break, I released one video. So that's DrunkFriend here, delivering. But Air Fortress, fun time on the old NES. Pretty good. Little mixed genre action, shoot 'em up, and little floaty exploration shooty type thing. Pretty good. Made by Hal. I recommend it. It's hard though. Hard.
Made by Hal is what interests me because Hal is what makes stuff like Kirby Adventure, Earthbound, all that. Ape Entertainment, of course, had a hand in Earthbound, but all that sort of stuff.
All that bright, colorful stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Kirby stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and Lolo,
so right on.
That's another one. So then
Lolo is another one, yeah, right on.
You get Air Fortress, and I'm not saying it's dark, but it's definitely not your cutesy, bouncy fun like their other stuff. So, pretty interesting, but I do recommend it.
I just realized that your Nest Friend channel is... Oh, wait, we are subscribed. Okay. I was going to say our own YouTube channel is not subscribed to Nest Friend. But it is.
You got to be.
This is a really worthwhile segment. I'm going to take another piece of this.
Are you eating another chicken sandwich?
Sausage.
Sausage?
Freaking fantastic.
Are you in a golden corral? How are you mixing meats? What are you doing over there?
You know what? That's a good topic. This is never a good thing.
All right. This is great content. You know what? While you're chewing that up, I'm going to jump into this first email from our friend Joshua Lopez.
Oh, yeah, Josh. Yeah. That's Leslie, right?
No.
It's the other Josh.
Josh Lopez, yeah. Specifically not Josh Leslie. Yeah, different Josh altogether. He says, "Sup, y'all? So Alex is leaning hard into this nerd voice. I'm wondering, have there been any moments where you needed to switch into the actual nerd persona to correct someone regarding games? One time in school, some classmates of mine were talking about Aerith from Final Fantasy VII, but kept saying she was in Final Fantasy VIII. Needless to say, I interjected with a... Do you want to take that, Alex?
Well, actually...
She's in Final Fantasy VII, he said. and they never sat near me again for the rest of the semester. Thanks, Joshua Lopez. I mean, I get it, Josh. If someone gets something wrong and you feel like you need to correct them, I mean, I hate being corrected myself, but sometimes, even in that moment, if I shoot a glance that says, shut up, leave me alone, I'm probably pretty thankful. You probably saved me from being wrong down the road. So, well, actually, if you gotta. That's what I say.
Yeah, I guess I just love you gotta have some self-awareness when you use it. But anyway, I love being, well, actually, as long as you're, aware of what you're doing. But otherwise, no, don't be that guy. Like, if you're gonna be pedantic, the well, actually thing is just being pedantic about something that does not matter ever at all to anybody. But
maybe. Depends. I think it really depends on how sure the person is that's saying the thing. Like, if they're like, I know for a fact that, The Office came out in 2015. You're like, no, it came out way earlier than that. Well, actually, like But if they're a little flimsy, if they're like, I'm not sure when it came out. Was it like 2008? There's no place there to hit them with that hard. Well, actually, they weren't sure. Jump in there, but you don't have to give them the whole. Well, actually, that's too much. That's just an innocent bystander you're hitting.
It's like a GTA 3 like drive-by basically at that point. And we don't need to do that. But no, that's fantastic. It's a great analogy actually. Like if you're off by that much, you know what? We should set a limit.
You think so? Right here, right now, we should.
Right
set
here,
that
right
limit?
now.
Okay.
Let's set a limit. Okay, so if you're off by if you're off by 2 Final Fantasies.
Really? 2
when it
whole
comes
Final Fantasies?
Yeah, I think if you get Final Fantasy 8, I think that's like, it's like, well, you get the general idea. Like, I'm not gonna fucking actually somebody for. Come on, like I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Joshua Lopez, but I'm sorry. I'm not gonna interrupt somebody, and be like an annoying somebody.
Would.
You would?
I would.
You would ruin it.
2 whole Final Fantasies. That's so much. That's so much.
It's so much fantasy. It's so much final.
I know. I would say, I don't know anything about Final Fantasy, so this is not a really good analogy for me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I do find it hard not to do a little bit of a well, actually. I might be playful about it though. I might be like
that's the thing. You got to be a little lighthearted about it. You can't be like serious, like, I'm angry that you got this wrong. Like, don't be that guy. Please, for the love of God, do not be that guy.
Yeah. I would say, honestly, only actually your good friends. Really
That's
do
good
it.
Policy. I agree with that. Yeah, 100%.
Don't let your friends go around being wrong. Give them a good actually, and kick them hard with it. Well, actually, hit them hard.
Well, actually, the Ford F-150 came out in 1980 something and something.
Because a actually guy
looking out my window
with that
right
voice
now,
knows a ton about Ford. He does. But you're right, because I think you're doing your friends a favor. You're looking out for your friends.
Yeah, that's that point. But
let a stranger be wrong.
As far as what Mr. Lopez is talking about, yeah, it's tough to say. I want to slide on the portion of just like let it slide, just because I'm just a passive aggressive dipshit on just in general. But if actually ends up being like something important, but it's like, who's to say what's important? I don't know. Me?
Well,
you? Josh Lopez?
I mean, if somebody said you could get COVID from holding a kitten, I might throw a good hard actually in there. Like, dude, well, actually, that's not true.
Yeah.
And I might say that to anybody on a bus. But yeah, you're right. I guess it depends. I would say use it at your own discretion then. I think that's what we just have to fall back on. Just know that person that you're actually not going to like you, but they might appreciate you down the road.
Take the temperature of your friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Our next email here is from our pal Klaus, a.k.a. Hans Gruber. He says, hey, lads, a quick question just bubbled to the surface. Here it goes. What actions did you or do you plan to take on extending the lifespan of your consoles and cartridges? I'm thinking of switching batteries on some of the consoles and accessories, backing up save games, deep cleaning old consoles, or replacing parts that might fail someday. Capacitors, maybe? I always think that I need to learn soldering someday and at least replace all existing batteries with battery holders and new batteries on my SNES and N64 games. Thanks in advance and have a nice week. Klaus.
Very nice email. Thank you, Klaus. And yeah, I don't know shit about soldering, but I have done battery soldering on my SNES cartridges like 7-8 times. I've lost count at this point.
Yeah.
But I've done it on my listen, you've heard me talk about Griffey.
Of course.
Griffey baseball.
Yeah.
I took a soldering iron to my Griffey baseball cartridge
Whoa.
and soldered the hell out of that thing.
Your baby.
Got a new battery in that bitch.
Whoa.
And it was amazing. It felt incredible. No,
I bet. Yeah.
It was just a regular thing.
It was like a DIY thing. You had an apron from Home Depot on. You were out in your woodshed with your goggles. You had Country from 1996 blasting, My Maria, and you were just getting in there, right?
Oh, yeah. I bought Alan Jackson's whole catalog, basically.
Very good.
No, my brother texted me something about Trevor Lawrence, and I'm like, what the fuck happened?
Oh, did he get a haircut? now I got to Google it.
Listen, my brother just texted me saying, really sorry, but Trevor Lawrence is tough to look at.
Yeah. Honestly, he looks like a bad PS2 character. He's all rigid and shit.
That is perfect. Please keep that in. That is perfect. I got distracted by my brother's.
You're working on that cartridge. You soldered it?
Yeah, the soldering on Griffey. I actually saved my Griffey cartridge.
Very cool.
Freaking yeah! It's just a matter of just heating up the soldering iron, melting the solder that's on there, and just getting it done. Get her done. I'm
Get her
sorry
done.
to do
Nice.
that, but. Yeah, no, it was legit.
It's always rewarding, right?
Super easy to do. So
I've done a few things. And all of it very researched. I changed a screen in a PSP once. And these are things that like a lot of people out there like I've done that 7 or 8 times today. But if you're not handy, like I'm not at all. I don't even trust me to plug in a TV, and I have several of them with several things hooked to them in my house. It's not my strong suit. So taking something apart and then making it work again, holy shit. Yeah. It's impressive. So yeah, I've done a few things like that. I got I soldered a power resistor back onto an old TurboGrafx 16 and got that to work, and that was amazing. But the thing is, when I did that one, I was worried that eventually, like I did it right enough to work a few times, but that eventually I would plug it in and my house would immediately burn down. So I'm really paranoid about that one in particular, but so far so good.
Well, I'm a homeowner now, as you have been for many years now. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I feel the same way, and that's how I feel as well. But I managed to change the battery in Final Fantasy VI, and it ended up working. My house did not burn down.
Changing the batteries in the cartridges isn't too bad. And especially if you have to change a battery in like a Sega Saturn, that's super easy. Those just pop in and out. They're meant to be taken in and out. But I am worried about capacitors failing in some of those systems like the Sega CD and the Saturn and the 3DO, some of the older ones. And there are some problematic ones like the Game Gear, I think, has some that are known to fail at some point. So yeah, these things don't last forever. So I'm a little worried about it. I don't have the skills to replace it on my own. So at some point, I need to make friends with a handy fella who has a soldering iron and a penchant for knowing his ohms and watts and come over and fix some of my stuff up. But yeah, that's all I can say. Find a guy that knows what he's doing and pay him well.
Do what now?
Do what now? All right. Another email here. This one coming from Drew. He says, "Hi there, Trav and Alex. First off, I've been a listener since episode 1, and I wanted to say congratulations for making it to 50. Keep up the good work." And Drew,
wait a second. How did he know that?
I don't know how he planned it.
Traveler from Back to the Future? Is this Marty McFly?
Yeah.
Like, how did this happen?
Here's what I think happened. I think he knows we're slow, and I don't think he knew we were going to skip a week, and so it hit just right. So good job, Drew. You won the lottery there. We're actually reading an email intended to be read on the episode that it was written for. Very good job. All right, Drew goes on to say, this podcast has been a gateway to some great content, gaming or otherwise, with Trav's own channel. Thank you, Drew. Game Boyle, PD, Gaming Historian, Mariachi Entertainment System. Did you hear their Muse cover? By the way, he says, I actually haven't listened to that yet, but did you hear it, Alex?
Yeah, their freaking thumbnail of it is plastered everywhere with that guy's face.
Yes.
Have you seen that guy's face yet?
I've seen that thumbnail. I don't know why I haven't clicked on that video game to watch.
That's the thing, is I see that guy's face all the time, and I'm like, fine, I'll listen to it, and it was great. So,
awesome.
I don't even like Muse, so whatever.
I'm okay with Muse. They're fine.
Nah, they're fine. They're not good.
They make a lot of racket for just three fellas.
Red Hot Chili Peppers tier.
Yeah, they're not Morrissey, right? All right. He says, also forgot.
You have a good memory. What? Morrissey. Okay, anyway, I'm sorry.
Sidetrack me, I'll sidetrack you. He says, forgotten VCR, and the list goes on. As I approach turning 40, I've seen gaming go through a lot of changes. It fascinates me to hear about other content creators who are damn near half my age. I've tried introducing my kids to things I grew up with, like the original He-Man, TMNT, Neverending Story, the good 80s, 90s stuff. We love playing Turtles in Time, Sonic, Mega Man, and I make them levels in Mario Maker 2. They tire of my JRPGs, but maybe because I'm a completionist when it comes to those. Alex will appreciate that I've played Chrono Trigger so many times that I maxed out all character stats that I could from farming tabs.
Yeah!
Yeah, Alex loves it, as you can tell. Finally, my questions are, do you play games with your kids, nieces, nephews, etc.? Trav, I believe you have a daughter. Do you play games with her? If she's too young now, how do you plan on gaming with her in the future? As we get older, I think it's important for us to share these things with the next generation. Say hey to the families. Keep on rocking out, Drew. So great email from Drew there. I appreciate a question like this because my answer is I have no idea how to introduce games to my daughter, who is about 30 months old now. She's 2.5. She is intrigued by cartoons a little bit now, but is not interested in games. Some characters, we have like a Yoshi plushie she takes to and stuff like, she likes the bright colors, but her concept of video games just isn't quite there yet. And I just don't know when I'll introduce it. She's bound to be introduced to it somehow because there's an entire room of our house that is, I'll say, lousy with video games. She'll find that room and she's going to be curious about them at some point, I hope. But I don't know. I'll just follow her lead. Whatever she's interested in, we'll do.
Well, as somebody that has two kids that are actually dogs, I'm one of those obnoxious dog people that treat their dogs as kids. And I don't actually treat.
You kind of do. It's okay. It's okay.
Come on, I do not.
They're family. It's fine. You feed them. You talk to them.
Come on. No, it's I do have nephews back home in Minneapolis, or in Minnesota, I should say. And they are, it sucks. Like, it's hard to listen to this question without, like, missing them and being like, I wish I could impose them with my crap.
Right.
They think it's really cool that, Uncle Alex is this weird, mystical guy way out in the desert that has this... this YouTube channel, and because they really, they're on YouTube all day and all that sort of stuff.
You're a retro desert wizard. That is a great name.
Retro desert wizard. I should change my channel name to that.
Please.
Absolutely.
I have cash. I'll go to any amount you want. That would be amazing. Retro Desert Wizard. Maybe that could be your change when you come back from break, and then you have to have an intro that's like Retro Desert Wizard. Retro Desert Wizard.
Drunk. But yeah, I really, they're amazing people. They're high school kids, they're junior high kids, and they're already amazing people that are really funny and really just happy people. And they're interesting people. So it's like, I don't need to get in the way of their shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to, like, barge my way, like, oh, you guys don't know what it's like to be something, and then,
So you don't want to force your will. You don't want to be like, you guys, I see you out there playing that Fortnite, but you know what you'd really like is Big Sky Trooper. Now that's a game.
Big Sky Trooper.
That's a game right there. That's a LucasArts game. Yeah, you should play that. You kids like Star Wars, don't you?
That's a LucasArts game right there.
Yeah,
for sure.
You kids like Star Wars. The same guy made both games. Same fella.
People made this. Yeah, but it's one of those things that's just I don't want to like go out of my way to impose something.
Well, I mean, you have a niece that lives close. She play games with you. Is she into it at all?
Oh, that's my girlfriend's niece, Lily. She plays freaking like God of War 17 or some shit.
Wow.
She's amazing at all these like first person shooters games. And oh man, she's like off the rails with this stuff,
Yeah, that God of War is great and all, but you ever played Chrono Trigger? You ever played
I'm
that?
not going to be like, you need to understand how good Chrono Trigger is and like shove her face in it like a dog that peed in the wrong spot. Like, come on. Like, nobody, like, don't be that person. Don't do that to your kids, please.
I see you got Game Pass there. When I was a kid, Game Pass was Kirby Superstar. 8 games on that thing. 8 games on
Kirby Superstar from friggin' Blockbuster.
Yeah.
That's what we did back in our day. What do you think of this cartridge? It is gray and it was plastic and there was a Velcro thing that said out when it was out. So this game is out right now. What do you think of that? As you just shove your kid's face into it. It's like,
Follow their lead. Let them play and you play with them. How about that? All right. Our next email here is from our friend Burger Champ. Hello, Champ. He says, it is widely accepted that 5 of the top 10 greatest games in history are various versions of the arcade masterpiece Revolution X. If you were tasked with making an updated version of Revolution X, what band would your version be based on and how would it differ from the original? All right. Thanks for the question, Champ.
early 2000s, what's your pick of a Revolution X of the early 2000s?
Oh, it's got to be Limp Bizkit. And Limp Bizkit is spelled somehow to have an X in it. So it's like Limp
sure.
Bixit. And you're just, you know how in Revolution X you're shooting like the CDs?
Yeah.
And in Limp Bixit, you're shooting little red New York Yankees hats. And other than that, it's not different. It's still a bad game, but the only update is that it's a sprite swap for red hats. And instead of Steven Tyler going, Revolution X, it's just Fred Durst going, cheer, when it starts. A pretty solid game, I think.
Listen, Trav, you just gave birth to the worst idea that's ever happened.
Was that not the goal? So what's your year 2000 to 2010? What's your Revolution X game? Who's your band and what are you doing?
Metallica, yeah, you gotta shoot every yeah. Every yeah is a projectile, yeah.
Oh, of course.
Hetfield's voice, it's just coming at you in the face like, yeah.
And that's going to be a gallery shooter, as is normal. Very
you gotta
cool.
Shoot every yeah.
Very nice. I don't think I see an issue with that at all. I think that's perfect.
How long are you allowed to wear a pair of pants before you have to wash them? Or what would it be like if you were trapped in the year 1996? Polykill is a podcast all about answering these questions, as well as talking about video games, if we have time. We solicit community feedback and beats so that we can read off what you've been beating in between us talking about basically whatever comes to our mind. It's a lot of fun. You can check out Polykill Podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts or reach out to us at polymedianetwork.com.
All right, for this episode 50, we wanted to share some other YouTubers that we enjoy. We're not able to bring everyone that we like onto the show, unfortunately, for various reasons here and there. So we wanted to share some YouTubers that, or some YouTube channels that we really enjoy and just want to share. So, Alex, why don't you start us off?
My first pick is going to be Andre Antunes.
Yes.
Because please go Google Andre Antunes because this guy is fucking amazing and he's my favorite YouTuber. He makes guitar riffs and oh geez, how do you describe this guy? Like he makes like guitar riffs and just metal songs out of viral videos.
Yeah.
And he just he just rips them from nothing. The guy's amazing.
Yes.
And people send them this stuff, and he makes songs out of them. And his latest one involves auctioneers, and anybody listening right now needs to go listen to it because it's hilarious and awesome.
It is so catchy. I never thought in a million years that the song that I would listen to on repeat for a week of my life would be a nonsense, gent-fueled metal rendition of auctioneers just doing auctioneer shit. And these auctioneers, this is a video from something that they did years ago. They're not aware that they sound metal as hell. But then Andre comes in, layers it with some gent, puts some grooves around it. It's the most addictive, and I'll say it's pretty metal, and it's awesome.
I love this guy, man. He's one of my favorites because he's done the same treatment for like viral videos like the "Why Are You Closed" guy.
Yes.
And to the point where my girlfriend is stomping around the house saying, "Why are you closed? Why are you closed? Why are you closed?" Like just like saying that like chanting it basically. And it's all because of that song. It's hilarious as hell.
It's so good. And he's got the Kenneth Copeland down, if you're aware of Kenneth
Kenneth
Copeland,
the dipshit
televangelist. Yeah, he's
televangelist. From Texas.
Yeah, he's ripe for the picking because that guy likes to shout. Yeah. He already speaks in a cadence, and so you put some metal around it, man. It's pretty fun. I really want to talk up that auctioneer one more time. Please go and watch that.
Do.
Yeah, that was really good. And I know it's maybe difficult to figure out what we're saying here, but his name is Andre Antunes, so that's Antunes, almost like Antunes, I guess, if you were thinking of it musically.
I'm not sure if he's from Brazil or Spain, but it's Antunes. It's like Tunes.
Yeah.
So I asked him to come on the podcast, and he's like, "I'm not all that confident in my English," and I was like, "That's okay. We can still help you out." And he was like, "No, I'd rather not." And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
And I felt bad, but he's a super sweet guy, and his music is amazing. Please go support that guy. He's
super talented.
Yeah, he's incredibly talented. Yeah.
And he was kind of the inspiration for an episode like this, because it's like, what do we do if we want to highlight somebody that we can't speak to? We really want to show them off.
Exactly. And my pick for that is Vitor Villela, because he's another fellow that I went to and like, hey, what if we went to you and had you had on the DrunkFriend podcast? He was like, I'm not, he's another fellow from Brazil, and he was like, I'm not that confident in my English speaking to be on a podcast. So he's done Contra 3, and he's done Gradius 3. He's done a lot of Konami games, actually. Super R-Type. He's done race driving, for God's sake.
Oh, my God.
I know. It's terrible. Like, how can you do race driving? He's done Secret of Mana, Axelay, F-Zero. He's done so many Super Nintendo games, and all he's done is he's just made them better. Like, he's just, hey, this is my hobby. I make games better.
So he's modding them and stuff like that. Okay, I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
I thought he was just doing reviews.
No, he's doing SA1 patches to make these games better. And sometimes some people are like, this game isn't better. This game is harder. And it's like, okay, then go back and play the game as it was. It's like, it's not that hard to do that, but what he's doing is amazing and incredible, and something I wish that existed when I was a kid. And he's one of my, best case scenarios for stuff I wish existed when I was a kid. So.
Yeah. Making race driving remotely palatable, which I guess I'm recalling the story now, didn't he try that, but it was just so fast, it was actually maybe more difficult to play, but at least it was not painfully slow.
He tried to do it with he tried to do it with he tried to do it with race driving, actually. I think if you scroll through his Twitter feed far enough back to like the the pandemic era, and he's like, turns out you actually can speed this game up if you really actually put the time into it.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's cool.
The guy's amazing. He's incredible. Like,
So how do you get to his YouTube channel?
I think you just search Hacker Villela on Twitter, and you go to. He has a Patreon that's just Vito Villela.
Very cool. Good pick. I was thinking, like, I don't really have any, I guess, YouTube recommendations that aren't already, like, super popular. I usually don't go beyond the first layer of stuff that's recommended to me, to be honest. I don't spend a ton of time on YouTube like I used to. When I spent a lot of time on YouTube, I found you, and you were what I considered the dregs. I was like, what is this?
What a crap ass. Yeah.
I was like, what is this guy? You get like 3,000 subscribers. Like, what is it? Is he drunk all the time? Was it? But you weren't. You weren't drinking at all. You were making really good videos, and I was like, wow, this guy's really good. Since then, I haven't really dug much. But so most of the stuff I'm going to talk about today, pretty well known. But Alex, have you heard of a YouTube channel called Wheezy Waiter?
No.
All right. Well, Wheezy Waiter, literally that, just Wheezy Waiter on YouTube. He just crossed 1 million subs there. So again, this is no spring chicken on the old platform, but he does a lot of really interesting things. He kind of does, I don't know what you would call it, kind of self-journalism. So he picks like a fad or a thing that people do, or just something that people are inquisitive about, and he tries it, usually for a month. So he has a video that's like, no sugar for a month. And then he talks about what it was like what that process was like cutting it out, what he experienced while he was doing it. You'll get, he films while he's doing it. So you might see him check in and be like, all right, I'm day 5 without sugar. This was my struggle on this day. This is my struggle like this. He's done like veganism for a month. He meditated every day for a month. He does all of these really, what you might consider like mundane things, but things that you've always been curious about. And he gives you this is what it's like. I tried to have good posture for a month. I love that. Just all of these interesting things. So, and he's very good at talking about. It's like one of those well-edited pieces where it's kind of snappy, but it's not to the point that it's jarring like a lot of YouTubers do, where it's so edited that you're like, I'm dizzy.
Oh yeah, you get the snap edits.
Yeah, he does a little bit of that, but it's very tastefully done. I think he's a really talented guy. So I would recommend checking out Wheezy Waiter. He does a lot of neat challenges.
I'm looking right now. I see, why do people like winter? And I'm like, I'm from Minnesota and I moved to New Mexico. I know why people don't like winter. I don't need to watch this video. But anyway.
He's asking why people do like it. And he's like, I don't get it. I'm kind of with you on that. I need to watch that video because I hate winter.
I fuck winter. But he's like, working out for 200 days. Why do people like being married? Good posture for a month. Meditating every day for a month. The meditating stuff really affects me because meditating is one of those things that sounds like a good idea. It always sounds like something like, oh yeah, I started meditating. It's like a BoJack Horseman kind of thing. Like, I started meditating the other day, and it's like it really clicked with me. It's like, okay, go to hell. But like, you didn't, like, stop it. But
you were quiet for a few minutes every day.
Yeah,
That's
you
great.
were quiet. you shut up for a while, and then that's it. But yeah, exactly. 12 minutes for this though is interesting, and some of his videos though, I'm gonna say, I tried getting up at 4:30 a.m. I get up at like fucking 3 a.m. every day. Like,
yeah, that seems like your problem, though. I don't think many people are doing that. You and farmers are doing that. That's not common.
I guess, but yeah, that's my problem, not his problem. Is that what you're saying?
I think I'm saying that's
boatload of his problem and not my problem.
I mean, if you're getting up at 3 a.m. for no reason, that's interesting.
No, there's a reason. The reason is that I'm taking too much vitamin D or something. I don't know, but anyway.
Interesting.
Yeah, why do people like being married? Why is that, Trav?
You have to watch to find out.
I guess so, huh? Well,
yeah. I will say too, he also speaks to a lot of experts. He pulls in he'll talk to a clinician or a practicing scientist to give you that scoop. It's not just this one guy blathering. He's a very well researched lad.
Scientists.
Yes, very good, very good. I highly recommend it. I'll throw another one because you let off with 2. You went hard with 2 in the paint. You had Vitor and Andre there, and so for my true crime people out there, woo woo, you like that true crime, a fella that I like, he is from Great Britain.
Somewhere over there.
Yeah.
I guess.
He the name of the channel is called That Chapter. He goes by Mike.
Oh, I've seen this. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
exactly what you're talking about. I've seen this. This has actually been recommended to me.
Yeah, it's solid
And
stuff.
I've always held off on it for some reason. I'm like,
It's pretty
But
good.
yeah,
It's pretty
tell me
well
about it.
researched. I think he does a really good job. He finds or he takes cases, true crime, sometimes mystery, sometimes solved, most of the times dark, and goes over all of the big points of it, usually in about a 20 to 25 minute video. A lot of nice visuals. He does his due diligence. You get some research that maybe you wouldn't get elsewhere. A lot of updates on the case, so it's not just like he's reading articles he found online necessarily. So he does a really good job of pulling it all together. He's kind of funny, so if you don't like a lot of humor with your true crime, some people don't. I think he tries to add some levity because true crime is naturally not fun, but if you don't like that, maybe not. But overall, I think he does a really good job. And he says third funny. He says third, and everyone likes that. That's a big deal among his crew. Just the way he says turd, because he's Irish or Scottish or something. Dirty Drina turd there. So very good stuff. And he also does other types of mysteries. It's not always murder. Sometimes he'll do like a Reddit mystery, like, what was this all about? Kind of maybe some spooky stuff, which is more fun than anything. So I recommend That Chapter if you're into the true crime.
yeah, I really like being recommended that kind of stuff because that stuff would have shown up on my. That stuff has actually shown up on my recommended feed in the past, and I've always been like really excited to see, but his videos are so long.
Yeah, 20 to 25 minutes, yeah.
29 minutes, 22 minutes. It's like I don't have ain't nobody got time for that. But yeah, that's me. I don't have time to,
Sure, yeah. Meanwhile,
I
you're
mean, I
watching
do.
like all of SummerSlam 97.
Well, oh, shit, let me think. What was SummerSlam? SummerSlam 97 would have been Bret
What have I
Hart,
done?
Undertaker.
I don't
think.
know. I don't know.
And that was you know what I think when you say SummerSlam 97, the first match I think of is like Bulldog Ken Shamrock, when Bulldog decides to like humiliate Ken Shamrock. He beats Ken Shamrock and then he like smears dog food on him, and Ken Shamrock just snaps and just like goes insane. And that's like supposed to be Ken Shamrock's big push, like his big deal. Like,
Yeah.
oh, he's gonna be a big main event guy now because he got angry because of dog food. It's like, as a fan, I'm like, okay,
Hey, man.
cool, I guess.
Ken Shamrock is so cool. He was referenced in some Limp Bizkit lyrics, so that comes
Was he
full
really?
circle. It comes full circle.
I don't even know about that. How many am I up to? Like 3?
This will be your third. Yeah.
Maurice Sedwell. That's actually not his name, which is kind of funny. I forget what his actual name is. I need to look it up. But this guy is like an expert on men's fashion. And his name is Andrew. Oh God, it's like Andrew Ramroop or something like
Andrew
that.
Ramroop. Yeah, I see it here. Yeah.
Yeah, this guy is amazing, and he is an expert on how to like make men's suits. And it's like almost hypnotizing to watch this because he knows exactly, like he's talking like every stitch, every fabric, everything. And he's one of my favorite people because he explains his craft he explains his craft in a way that I can understand it.
Right.
I knew nothing about men's fashion. I don't give a shit about men's fashion. He made me care about men's fashion because he explains it so well.
That's cool. How did you come across this? Were you actively looking for a channel like that?
No, I honestly don't know. That's a great question. I don't know. How did I find this? It's a great question, Trav. I don't know. It just showed up on my YouTube thing, I guess.
And you clicked it?
But-
Because I'm just asking, because if I saw something like that in my YouTube feed, I'd be like, what in the hell? And I don't know that I would be as interested to click on it.
Let me see what my it was something about like dinner jackets or something like that. And I was like, why the hell? To be honest, it was like, why is this here? And I was like, dinner jackets, huh? Okay, let's talk about dinner jackets. And I'm like, okay, we got dinner jackets, bow ties, and I was like, oh my god, this guy's incredible. Like, this guy's talking about like why it's useful to wear a vest with a coat, and why a handkerchief matters, and it should complement the tie, and like all this kind of stuff. It's like, oh my god, I never thought about any of this ever.
Right. Yeah, I usually just like, put something on, and then I walk in front of my wife, and if she screams, I go back and try again.
I was the same way. Yeah. So I love this kind of stuff because I'm learning something all the time. And no, it's confusing because he's not actually Maurice Sidwell, but he's Andrew Ramup representing the Maurice Sidwell, so to speak,
gotcha.
brand, I guess, or something like that. But I love it because it's educational. I love learning things, and that's something I've always loved. Is just like right now I'm looking at dinner jacket with a shawl collar. It's like, what the fuck is a shawl collar?
Gotta click on it. Gotta find out.
Gotta click on it. I need to know what this is, and he's so good at explaining at what it is and why it's important and like why it's functional. It's like, I feel like that's the thing is, I feel like that it speaks to my skill set, I guess, is like, oh, that's what I do and that's what I've always done is explain. I try and be a teacher. Yeah, I guess is just
I mean that makes a lot of sense. So he kind of delivers this information in a style that you appreciate, and I think that goes a long way. That's pretty cool. I think that one's very interesting.
It was like an Ultimate Warrior promo to try and describe how I feel about this because it took forever.
No, I think that's a good recommendation. It was outside of the. I was worried that we would funnel too far into like games or comedy, but that one was one that I'm really appreciating that you shared. And so I have one that's not quite like that, but it's still in the crafty vein. And it's an interesting channel. When I don't remember how I came across it. I think maybe my buddy Jake showed it to me. But when I came across this channel, the Craftsman Steady Craftin'.
Ooh,
yeah.
Let me look this up. This sounds good.
So it's the Crafts, CRAFS man, Steady Craftin'.
Okay, yeah, it came up immediately.
So he's got a little sock puppet guy.
His poor guy's face reveal was his first.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, it's all a big joke.
I can identify with that.
Yeah,
big time.
So he's I don't think any of his face reveals are real. I'm not real sure, but he does use a character that is a sock puppet, and he does crafts, and he's extremely talented with these crafts. But the interesting thing about this guy's videos, the Craftsman Steady Craftin', is that when he narrates, again, you never see his face; you only usually see his hands, and he wears gloves, so you don't know even what his hands look like. His voice or his character is the sock puppet, and that's how he describes everything. And it's kind of like
use his real voice.
No, he doesn't even use his real voice, and it's kind of like a friendly old man. So he'd be like, "All right, everybody, I got these figures here today. We're gonna paint them. I got one out of the kiln here. We're gonna paint him a little bit orange." So it's kind of like a Southern Bob Ross. You'd actually probably appreciate it, and the art is fantastic. It's he tells you why you should use certain chemicals. He tells you how to mix your paints and how to work your clay and all these things. Stuff that I'm not interested in doing. I don't make anything out of art, but I can watch these videos because he's so steady and relaxing. He's actually very funny. Look at this figure here. Oh, it's so good. And stuff like that. I mean, just really interesting stuff. So the Craftsman Steady Craftin'. I mean, it's interesting stuff. I highly recommend it. You'll laugh, you'll feel good, you'll be relaxed, and you'll be intrigued because he's an interesting guy. He's very talented, but you don't know much about him. It was very interesting.
Right on.
Yeah.
I want to recommend our friend Layla Ataye because she's amazing and she's one of my favorite people. I'm subscribed to her Patreon. I'm not saying go subscribe to her Patreon, but she is amazing. Like what she does on her YouTube channel is what I've always wanted to do, which is just educate people in terms of art and how to do things. It's how to paint, basically, and how to draw. she is really good at doing that sort of thing through YouTube, which I think is a really difficult skill to get. And she just posted a video today. I think, is today the 28th? No, it's
29th.
29th. Yeah, no, she posted a video yesterday, and it's a fantastic video where she's just talking about how to draw a rabbit. And I'm like, my only memories of a rabbit are when Clyde, dog, grabbed a rabbit in his chops and almost swallowed it whole.
Dang.
And I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, like, drop it. You know, like, I was describing this earlier today because Pam was talking about it. And and I'm like, please, God, do not eat this rabbit, Clyde. And he eventually dropped it. And
thank goodness.
The rabbit scurried away, and thank God. But
we'll have Easter this year. It was close.
I'm screaming, drop it, at the top of my lungs at 5:30 a.m. in front of an apartment building. But she managed to recontextualize rabbits for me. Far from that. That's the point I was coming around to. Anyway,
we know what's fun. She was episode 25, so she was halfway back in our catalog. Isn't that crazy? She was halfway to here. That seems. I don't know what that makes you, how that makes you feel, but it seems to me like that was not the halfway mark. I don't know if it was mentally, if it's further toward now or further back. I don't know, but it's weird to think that.
I wish we should talk to her again because she's one of my favorite people. She's one of my favorite guests.
Very cool. I have one more I want to share, and I think this is a guy I would be surprised if you're not familiar with Scooter Magruder. Do you know Scooter Magruder?
No.
Oh, really?
You prepare to be surprised.
Okay, so Scooter does a fun thing. He has a gag that was popular on some Reddit feeds. He basically he has jerseys and shirts for just about every sports team ever, and he will shoot these rapid fire response videos as those fans. So he's like,
oh, I know this guy. Yeah,
yes,
I've seen him
I
before.
knew it. I knew you had. Yes, exactly. So he's like, how different fans reacted to this, and so he'll be wearing like a shirt from a certain team.
This guy's been around a long time too, huh?
He's so funny. He's super funny, super talented. I don't really want to know what his shirt and jersey budget is because he's sinking a lot of money into this gig, but it's super funny. And he also does some gaming stuff too, even has his own gaming channel called Scooter Gaming. I actually think this is a guy that we could potentially get on the podcast, to be honest with you. But he's a funny, super funny guy, and I always get a kick out of watching his stuff. You know, even if he's dogging on my team, he's funny about it, and I gotta respect it. So, funny dude, Scooter Magruder.
I want to see. I'm super curious now. I want to see how badly he dogs the Vikings because there's no way he can dog them as badly as I can. Because fuck the Vikings. Listen, if you're a Vikings fan, please email the show and just vent, okay? Just please email drunkfriendpodcast@gmail.com. Vent about how upset you are as a Vikings fan. I guarantee you hate being a Vikings fan.
Please.
There is no fun when you're a Vikings fan.
In the subject line, if you would, please just add a little Trav ignore there so I don't have to be subjected to it. I'm a nice guy. I don't need that in my life. You guys can be mad. I'm just going to watch Scooter Magruder make fun of y'all. And
ooh, yeah. But no, please email me. Tell me how much it sucks to be a Vikings fan because it fucking sucks. What do I have to look forward to this year?
I don't know,
Justin Jefferson being a good receiver, being a WR1, well, whoop-de shit. Okay, congratulations.
Oof.
You have a good wide receiver.
Showing a lot of motion tonight. It's okay. Hey, they're not playing for another few months. Calm down. It's all right. Hey, we're all right.
I'm so tired of it. It's just year after year after year.
Hey, you always have the Twins. Am I right? They're doing great. Yeah, the Twins?
No, they're 7-13, Trav.
Hey, they've played 20 games, and isn't that special? Isn't that something? Nope. Okay. Sorry, I tried. Well, that's going to do it. We shared some YouTubers that we enjoy. It would be nice to...
I tried to hold it as much as I could. I'm sorry.
It'd be nice if we could get a few of those guys on the old show. It seems like Andre Antunes is not seeming likely, but you know, maybe Wheezy Waiter's got 1 million subscribers. He's probably not going to stoop down to us. But, you know, maybe a few of these others. It'd be great to talk to because we respect their work, and it's always fun to ask questions to people you respect a lot. So that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, they're awesome. We love them. And by the way, Trav, you should have said the Wild. They're actually going to make the playoffs, and they're going to be a good team. And they got Kirill Kaprizov.
The Wild. What is that? Is that a hockey thing? Is that a hockey squad?
That's a hockey squad.
Okay.
Yes.
I know. I don't do the old hockey, so I'd like to.
The old hockey, the swords on skates. Yeah.
You need to get me into it, but I don't want to root for a faraway team. It'd have to be somebody close to me to get me interested, probably.
Well, you're in Virginia, yeah.
Yeah, we got.
So
we
you
got
gotta
Carolina.
Well, either Carolina or Pittsburgh, yeah.
Oh wait, what? Isn't there? There's a DC team, no?
There is a DC team with one of the greatest goal scorers ever, if not the greatest goal scorer ever.
I hate
his
DC
name is
sports.
Alexander Ovechkin, if you know his name. And I just
I've seen that name before. I always think it says oven chicken. It makes me hungry. Very cool.
Ovechkin is, he's a big deal.
Cool. Well, he sounds delicious. All right, that's going to do it then, everybody. Again, Alex, thanks for 50 episodes, man. It's been fun.
It sounds like it hasn't been. It sounds like you're miserable.
I'm good. I'm chipper. I think I've become a better podcaster over the last 50 episodes. I've gained some confidence. When we're having fun.
I've gained some weight, man. I've gained my COVID-19.
Oh God,
it's my Vince McMahon laugh.
Well,
but yeah.
Huh. Well, that's what the summer's coming out. You're gonna get that shirt off, get to running down the street, burning those cows.
I'm not gonna get that shirt off. I'm gonna spare my neighbors. Listen, I just moved to a new place. I'm not gonna freaking torture my neighbors with freaking shirtless Alex. Are you freaking kidding me?
That's how you show who's boss.
No.
It's not about how you look under the shirt. It's the confidence to take it off. If I see a guy that doesn't have a good physique with his shirt off, I'm like, that guy's beaming with confidence. I could never touch that guy's level of alphaism. And you put them in their place. Just take that shirt off, run down the street. You know what? And do it when it's cold. That'll really get them.
Yeah, I'll do it at 3 a.m. How's that?
Yeah.
When there's no sunlight.
There you go. Make sure you're screaming.
Nobody's watching and there's no sunlight. That sounds good.
Okay. All right, everyone. Well, that's been another Drunk Friend podcast. As always, you can reach out to us with questions or comments at drunkfriendpodcast@gmail.com. We love hearing from you. We'll respond or read it here eventually, unless you're Drew and you just hit the jackpot. I mean, maybe that's the thing. If you guess which episode we read your thing on, you don't get anything special, just our respect. Please head over to polymedianetwork.com if you want to hear more podcasts from us or our crew. We got Tales of the Lesser Medium out there. We have a new episode dropping soon on the Ninja Gaiden story from the first NES game. It's pretty funny. And you can check that out. It's already on the old Polykill Patreon. We got Petey's Power Hour for your beverage-related entertainment. Polykill, if you like, me and video games. And we also have Indie Quest over there for those under-the-radar titles maybe you missed.
Well, actually, Trav,
oh my God.
I believe it is pronounced Ninja Gaiden.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So you should
Gaiden.
record that particular part of the podcast.
Oh, gosh.
Because, I believe it is Ninja Gaiden.
Okay, that's
So
fine.
you should go back and
I've heard Ninja Gaiden. I've heard it with a pause. So
No, it's Ninja Gaiden. If you're not interested in sending an email, no big deal. Just give us a rating or review on a podcast of your choice. Wow. Yeah, that'll send us out big time.
It'd be great. You can find us on social media. On Twitter, I'm at Trav Plays Games. You can find Alex, of course, at SNES Drunk.
And as always, the music you heard at the beginning and can hear right now is composed by our friend Kular. The track you heard called Electric Starbounce, and you can hear you can find a link of more of his music. Oh gosh, on the podcast project. Shout out to Josh. What the fuck am I even doing? I lost track.
The random ebbs and flows involved are so good.
The shout out to Josh Lindley for our Thirst Crush logo, and I need a fucking drink right now.
Yeah,
fuck. Wow.
Well, be sure to catch us on YouTube.
What am I doing?
Thanks for listening.
And have a great rest of your day. Wow. Oh, gosh.